There are many major accomplishments Minecraft players have made over the years, whether it's reaching the world border, discovering the far lands, or even speedrunning Minecraft in unbelievable times. However, as great as these accomplishments are, there may be an even bigger challenge that Minecraft players are yet to beat. And if you've read the title of today's video, you may know where this is headed. I want to challenge myself and see if you can beat Minecraft while riding a pig. And I mean completing every little task required to beat the game, whilst riding this pink beast. Can I beat the game in time, or will my fellow pig and I fail today's challenge? Stay tuned to find out. Also, like today's video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, it helps out greatly. Comment below right now your predictions on how today's challenge will go. I am keen to read your replies. Anyways, let's hop into the video. I managed to spawn next to a large mountain. Honestly, it wasn't the greatest start, but it will have to do. I then spawned in the pig and gave him a name. Terry will be our ally on today's journey. I chucked a saddle on him and spawned in some carrot on his sticks so we can actually control Terry. I immediately headed for the nearest tree and realised very quickly how painful this challenge will be. I had no idea it would take so long to mine a single tree. After requiring 4 pieces of log, I crafted a wooden pickaxe so I could begin mining cobblestone. The cobblestone will be used for tools and a furnace. I then quickly mined some gravel to receive a piece of flint. This will be used later in the run. I also gathered some coal before I headed off looking for some iron. I soon realised though how risky it would be to find iron, as dark caves will be filled with mobs. But I had to take the risk. Soon after, I did manage to actually find a little cave and safely made my way down there. With a little bit of luck, I managed to find a nice vein of iron. A furnace was made so I could then smelt the iron, as I needed it as soon as possible. Now it was time to exit the cave, but I was shocked to see it was suddenly nighttime. After making a staircase for Terry, we were now out in the wild, with plenty of hostile mobs surrounding us. Almost immediately, I had my first encounter with a creeper. All things considered though, I think the outcome could have been worse. Terry did take half a heart of damage however, which can only be healed with potions, so that naturally kinda sucked. Another creeper then began chasing me. Instead this time, I went in the opposite direction. It was here I realised how frustrating slow Terry truly is. There was almost no way I was going to be outrunning mobs, especially spiders, in which I was suddenly forced into combat with one. With a few axe swipes however, the spider was no issue. I soon discovered some pigs atop a mountain, in which I slaughtered them for some free pork. I did feel bad forcing Terry to see his pig friends being killed, but he understood it was necessary. All of a sudden, whilst acquiring some logs, a skeleton appeared as he shot me in the face. By the end of the fight, I was down to 1.5 hearts, whilst Terry also took plenty of damage. It was scary, but we won nonetheless. It was now daytime, so I began exploring, looking for a place to set up shelter. After that hectic night out, I knew it was too dangerous for Terry and I to be in the open any longer. Early into our exploration, we managed to come across a lava pool. This is a big deal, as I now have an easy way to enter the Nether. So, I figured whilst it was safe out, I may as well get started on the Nether portal. I got to work, however, it wasn't easy controlling Terry whilst being surrounded by lava. The process was difficult, but after some careful execution, the portal was officially complete. After clearing the remaining lava to avoid that hazard entirely, I figured why not set up base directly next to the Nether portal. This way, we have full access to everything we need in one place. My first task however, was finding sheep as I was going to need a bed. This was not only to set my spawn, but to also have the option to sleep through the night. Now that I had enough wool, it was time to begin building our base. I noticed the sun was setting, meaning nighttime was approaching fast, so I had to think quick, and ended up using a variety of materials to build our little hut. Terry and I didn't have time to build a masterpiece, we just had to be safe. After a while of painfully building our base with mobs trying to kill us, the base was complete. As scuffed as it was, me and Terry were very proud. Now that I had the essentials complete, it was time to start preparing for the Nether. So, I began looking for openings to caves. Early into this, I had some success as I found some iron located in a wall. I immediately made an iron pick so I could mine much faster than I currently was. An iron helmet was also made for further protection. After taking out a skeleton, a creeper suddenly appeared. I decided to make an exit, but for some reason decided to head back into the room, and due to my dumb actions, Terry and myself died. I honestly couldn't tell you why I decided to go back in there. All I knew was Terry died due to my dumb actions. I felt terrible as I went back to collect my items left in the wreck. Whilst mourning the loss of Terry the pig, something beautiful happened. Terry's brother spawned and decided to help me avenge his brother's death. We decided to team up and continued our journey within the deep dark cave. After only a mere 5 minutes of mining, we managed to acquire a respectable amount of iron ore. Terry's brother really came through and must have blessed us with good luck. After making it back safely to our base, we smelted the iron ore and made a full suit of iron armor, alongside an iron axe. Now Terry's brother and I were prepared for anything that tried to harm us. After finding some more food, we figured it was time to enter the Nether. However, after trying the traditional way, I realised I couldn't enter the Nether whilst riding Terry's brother. As annoying as this was, we did try other strategies. At first, I tried placing myself and Terry's brother in a boat and seeing if that would work, but we had no luck. Then, I decided to use water to force Terry's brother into the portal. We were both shocked to see it worked as we both began our journey within the Nether. I screenshotted the location of our Nether portal and then headed off looking for some gold nuggets. The gold nuggets we made into gold boots to assure piglins won't be attacking us. All of a sudden, a ghast appeared and tried to ruin our day. After some careful strafing, however, we avoided his attacks and were suddenly safe. After making the gold boots, I realised how hard it is going to be to traverse the Nether. Being stuck on a cliff is honestly a death sentence, as we can't travel down via waterfall. So, the only realistic option was to use boats to safely fall off cliffs. Now that we had the strategies ready to go, it was time to find the fortress. After tediously making our way through the Nether, I noticed the fortress in the corner of my eye. Surprisingly, it didn't take too long to find the fortress compared to my previous Minecraft challenge attempts. Let's just say we got pretty lucky. Shortly after, we made a staircase heading up the fortress. Now, this is the point in the run where things can go wrong very quickly. The first issue was going to be wither skeletons. They are very fast and powerful mobs. If I manage to get cornered by even one of these, it may be game over. The next major threat was blazes, but I had to fight them in order to acquire blaze rods. If Terry's brother gets hit by one fireball, he is considered dead, so I had to assure that never happened. Not even a minute into being within the fortress, I was suddenly attacked by a wither skeleton. Due to Terry's brother being so incredibly slow, I couldn't get away in time as he began aggressively attacking me. I managed to successfully take him down, but I ended up living on very few hearts. Right after this incident, a blaze spotted us and managed to shoot a fireball directly at me. Luckily, however, I took the brunt of the damage as Terry's brother remained unharmed. I managed to get to safety shortly after. Now it was time for me to come up with a realistic strategy to kill these blazes. There was no way I could be out in the open with them. It was simply too dangerous. I soon realised I was standing right below the blaze spawner, as I could hear several of them spawning. So, I decided to build a little room underneath it, and made them come to me instead. After making a little opening, I tried attacking one, but it was too far away. However, one blaze decided to fall down my hole and took me down to 1.5 hearts. It was scarily close, but I managed to acquire my first blaze rod. I kept on using the same strategy and was having success, but the blazes suddenly decided to stop going down the hole. So, I took initiative and tried to grab their attention, but Terry's brother managed to get hit in the process. He then died a slow, painful death, and it was all my fault, once again. All of a sudden, Terry's best friend spawned and decided to help us on our journey. So, we continued the hunt for blaze rods and had some success in the process. But shortly after, Terry's best friend also died after being touched by lava. All hope seemed lost, but I was given one more chance as Terry's grandma joined the fight. I was very grateful and continued on with our journey. Just like before, Terry's grandma was set on fire, but luckily managed to live on half a heart. This must have been a sign that we still had a fighting chance. Whilst mining out a different section of the blaze spawner, I was suddenly approached by a wither skeleton. I tried my hardest to get away, but figured the only realistic option was to stay and fight. But after blocking a few attacks, the wither outplayed me, as I was murdered in cold blood. I was in shock, as I spawned back at our base, and sadly realised Terry's grandma is in the Nether, scared and alone. If you guys want to see me continue this challenge, then drop a like on the video, and comment below your opinion. Overall, this challenge was extremely hard, but mainly tedious. The combat aspect is the toughest part, as you can never really escape a fight. But I had fun, and would love to continue these Can You Beat Minecraft challenges in the near future. Before I go, please consider subscribing, as it helps the channel greatly. Anyways, have a lovely rest of your day/night. It's time for me to head out. Peace.